again. Welcome to another exciting episode of Angels, Fairies, and Witches. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Laura.
Happy Valentine's Day! Depending on when this airs, I think it's a day or two before or a day or two after. So let's start this show off. Who knows the history behind St. Valentine's Day?
That wouldn't be me. That would have to be you.
Nobody? Okay, well, let me tell you. St. Valentine, well, before he became a saint, Valentine was a priest, a Catholic priest. And here we go again. 30 seconds into the show and I'm knocking the Catholics. I'm not knocking you guys, I'm just showing you some history. Valentine was a Catholic priest about the year 870 in France. And at the time, he was told that, well, they were all told, that they could only marry people that were from... That's a spell I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Valentine and all the priests of the time were told that they could only marry people that, like the cardinals and the bishops, the higher ups, felt were suitable. Maybe people from the same financial background or whatever. Well, Valentine disagreed with that. And he said, I'm going to marry anybody who wants to, as long as, they're in love. And, well, what happened to him? He got thrown in jail. He got thrown in jail for two reasons. One was for pissing off everybody by marrying whomever came to him. And legend has it he even married some people of the same sex. So you can imagine, France, Catholic, 870, major no-no. But moreover, he fell in love with a woman. So Catholic priest falling in love with a woman, double whammy. Anyway, they threw his behind in jail. And while he was there awaiting his execution, he would correspond with this woman through the written word. And so at one point he writes to her and he writes something like, my beloved, my darling, my time on earth is short, but I think of you every moment. In the afterlife, I'll always look after you and await your arrival to the other side. And he signs it, Love, Your Valentine. And that became known as the first Valentine's Day card. And then they killed him. Nice. But anyway, eventually they made him into a saint. So really, St. Valentine's Day is a celebration of love in whatever shape it takes. It should start out with self-love, love of friends, love of family. In upcoming episodes, you didn't fall asleep on me, right?
Nope.
Check for a pulse.
Listening intently.
We're going to talk about passion and purpose and stuff like that. And as a matter of fact, maybe we'll even get to it a little bit today. So I'm going to show you a few love spells that you can perform. But first, of course, a word of caution. And for those of you that have seen these episodes, about 30 of them so far, also on YouTube, I always caution people, you can go into any Barnes & Noble, you could probably go on the internet too, and find out different love spells, okay? I'm in love with this guy, Richard. It's Richard that I want, so I'm going to do a spell and get Richard. Very bad idea. Bad. Whether you know it or not, you're messing with the other person's free will. And what's going to happen is you could draw that person to you briefly. And that may sound appealing to some of you out there, but heed the consequences. First of all, it would only be brief. Second of all, the boomerang effect is that you would not just be left heartbroken, but devastated, grief-stricken. Is it really worth that?
I don't think so.
Shall I tell them how I learned from my own mistakes?
Why not?
Why not? Okay, well, there was this guy some years ago that I just thought...
Be the voice of experience.
Well, sometimes, you have to learn through your own stupid mistakes. And, I was wise enough to know that I kind of shouldn't be doing this, but I thought, but I love him and I know he loves me and we can be so happy. I'm just going to toss a little magic behind it and get it up and running. So I whipped up some major concoction. It was full moon. It was the month of April. Sometimes April is known as the love month, sometimes February. But it was April, it was a full moon, it was a Friday night. I invoked the goddesses of love, particularly Venus and Aphrodite. I took his picture and my picture. I put them in a walnut shell, because any kind of nut is really symbolic of love. I don't know if it has to do with the other kind of nuts, but I wrapped it in red thread. I bound it. I buried it in the earth. I mean, I can't even believe I did such a stupid thing. And moments later, when I thought, oh my God, what have I done? And I went to dig it up, it was not there. So,
Didn't you put a rose quartz with it?
and probably a rose quartz.
Right.
Oh, I just really did it up and kind of did myself in because never got off the ground with this guy. And I was sad about it for a long time. So please proceed with caution. You can attract any kind of love and romance and passion into your life, but try not to put a name to it. Trust me when I say the universe knows what's best for you. Okay? We all like the pretty boys, we all like the bad boys, and I'm not saying we can't have some kind of fun with them. But maybe long term, what we really need is the nice, stable, decent, funny, compassionate guy. More on that. Now I'd like to show you a few spells. Well, actually, before I show you this spell, here we have, these are various symbols of Valentine's Day. We have the red candle. Now, I like it because it smells like apples and cinnamon. Okay? And I'm only lighting this for it to permeate the house. What were we talking about before when I misused some word in another episode? But permeate is a word, right?
Permeate is definitely a word.
Sometimes I think words are words, but they're not.
You were looking for encompass, I think.
Encompass. What did I say? Something that wasn't encompass. And you know what? I'm sorry, but so long as we're on the topic, I am lobbying for the word irregardless. Okay, I know it's not a word, but doesn't it sound like one? And doesn't it sound fancy? You know, irregardless of the situation. I feel like I should have a pipe in my mouth and speak in the Thurston Howell voice. So what are you folks out there? Come on, hit us up. Tell us what you think. Irregardless? Should we get it into Webster's Dictionary? No? Oh, also, I'm sorry, just one other thing. At Queens Public Television, which we're on, and we would like to do a special shout out to some wonderful people there, especially Renee. Mwah, 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 mwah. Love me some Renee. Also Omar, also Antonio, some really wonderful people that have allowed us to have this sort of, what would you call our show? Groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking. Out of the box.
Out of the box. Controversial. Anyway, apparently there is these awards that they give out at the end of the year, but I didn't find out about it till like a week ago. And I don't really know how you do this, but I think you go on QPTV and there's some way of voting for your favorite show. And in 2013, I want to win. I mean, I don't know what you get, except, prestige. But again, just keep it in mind. It's probably not till the end of 2013, but vote for us. Okay, so red candle. Again, like I said, I'm just using this to bring the essence about in my home. In general, if I'm doing spell work, like I've said, stay away from the red, okay? Red is a little too hot to trot, okay? If it's love you want, light a pink candle. If it's just plain old sex you want, light an orange candle, because pink corresponds to the heart chakra. Orange corresponds to the sacral chakra. Okay, with red, you get passion, but you also get a little fiery temper. It's like when you fight and you have makeup sex. Not saying that's not hot, but it gets tired after a while. So for spell work, if you just want to light red candles in your house because it's nice and pretty, go right ahead. But for actual spell work, which is what we're going to be doing here, don't light the red candle with the intent for love or sex. You will not like the results. Consider yourselves warned, okay? You know what this is like? This is like Waylon and Madam, or Charlie McCarthy. You know, the guy with the, well, I hate to say dummy, but it was like the ventriloquist act. So let's try this.
Stop.
Look, my lips aren't even moving.
Stop it.
Well,
I'm your handy dandy assistant. Remember that.
technically right now you're my handy dandy piece of furniture. Come on, contribute. Talk about, it's Valentine's Day. She has a boyfriend for, what's it been, about 5,000 years?
Yeah, 19.
19 years.
19 years.
The same guy.
Works for me.
It does. It does. Would not work for me. So, all right. Well, here's a spell that I think you can utilize. Don't want to get into your whole sex life, but let's face it. Any of you out there that are in a long-term relationship, things can get a little dull between the sheets sometimes, correct? You don't have to answer that.
Thanks. Not going to incriminate myself.
Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, here is a variation on something that I make. I usually do it with brownies, but we're going to do it with hot chocolate because here it is, February. Who doesn't like a steaming mug of cocoa? But this is going to be with the intent. Now, again, little disclaimer here.
You've made the sex brownies for me before. And
you want to just clarify?
Well, you gave them to me, and they were extremely effective.
With
my beau. Not you.
Okay. I say this because years ago, Laura became an ordained minister. And she performed the ceremony of marriage between me and ex-husband number 2. And that was lovely. But yet she goes around telling people, I married Michele. So we just want to be clear. Yes, I made a batch of the sex brownies, and I'm very careful who I give them out to. So I gave them for her and her boyfriend.
I think you made it abundantly clear every episode that we're just hetero life mates.
Hetero life mates. Okay, so here's a little disclaimer. Okay, the spell I'm going to show you, it's not for love. It's not for fidelity. It's not for longevity. It's not for, I'm going to use sex as a weapon and then he is going to take out the trash. This is really just designed for people that are in long-term, good, solid relationships, okay? Not somebody that you just met. Maybe you're married, maybe you're not married, maybe you have kids together. But you're really in a solid relationship. And this just guarantees, you hear that? Guarantees one night of roll your eyes in the back of your head, curl your toes, passion.
I'm pretty sure you haven't had anybody come back and complain.
No. And you know, that's the thing. When I do spell work for people and I make potions, and it's not my job to then follow up and say, well, did it work? Was it great? Was it wonderful? Because I know it is. Oh, yes. But so when I give these out, it's not my job to then find out how the sex brownies, or in this case, cocoa, work. But I've gotten a lot of feedback that it does. Okay, so just remember, this is a very basic spell. It's really simple ingredients. It's intention, but it guarantees one night of passion. Don't read any more into it, okay? I don't know why I felt compelled to look at her.
Yeah,
so,
really.
before I start that, I wanted to show you. Here we have the red apple. Take a bite, my pretty.
Where's your wart?
Could not resist.
Where's your wart?
The wart, the green nose. All right, so I just want to show you something about apples. Apples are very sacred to Venus and Aphrodite. Technically, they are one and the same. It's just one is more the Italian and one is more the Greek. So here's why apples are sacred and used in love spells. If you take an apple and you cut it that way, okay?
With your...
Oh, with my Athame.
Athame.
It's a knife, but it's only used for spell work, so it really becomes more of a sacred tool. There's another knife you can use called a bovine, but that's really more when you're carving things into candles. Okay, so what do we have here? Can you see that? It's the 5-pointed star. Okay, this is the symbol of witchcraft. Oftentimes it'll have the circle around it. But now what does it stand for? 5-pointed star, earth. I hope I'm pointing to it, I can't see it. Earth, fire, air, water, and spirit. Okay, so it's all the elements and spirit. So that when you're doing any kind of spell work, particularly love spells, you want to invoke a little bit of everything. So, are we ready?
I'm ready.
No.
That's not what it's used for.
No, it's not. That would be wrong.
Don't taint your knife.
Okay, so I have a little milk. already on the stove. What I'm going to do, everything in this kitchen is very, very, very old. Okay, we're going to add a little more milk to it. You know what? If you're going to do it for a love spell, do whole milk, unless you're lactose intolerant. But don't skimp and do the 1% fat, 2% fat-free. First of all, it tastes like hell. And second of all, you really want a sumptuous type spell. You want all of your senses. Give me the word.
Stimulated.
Stimulated. Good word.
Thank you.
Okay, to this, we're going to add... Am I dirty? Look at this. I'm always, whenever I cook, I really need to invest in an apron because I always, hands all over. Anyway, cocoa. Okay, plain old cocoa powder. Whatever you like. Now, this is not ripping open a packet of cocoa mix, dumping it in a mug of hot water, and throwing it in the microwave. As you're making this, you're thinking loving thoughts. You're thinking sexy thoughts. Okay, chocolate, as we know, put in as much as you like, has aphrodisiac properties. And that's exactly what we want in a love spell. Now remember, guys, calling it a love spell, but it's really just a night of passion spell. Okay, now, little secret ingredient here. You ready for this? Chili powder. Now, there is a movie called Chocolat. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh my God, Johnny Depp. Yummy. Goes to France, a woman who owns a confectionery store. But anyway, this is kind of along the lines what she does. At no point in the movie is it referred to she's doing witchcraft or spells, but trust me, folks, rent the movie. It's exactly what she's doing. This is just to add a little bit of heat. Or as I like to say, a little fire in the loins. A pinch, okay? Don't want to go overboard with that stuff. And then, this is optional, but I like to do it, a little bit of honey for sweetness. Okay? Now, as it's cooking on the stove, you want to stir clockwise. It's what you want to bring into your life. You also want to lower the flame so you don't scald it. Okay, we've discussed this in other episodes that when you're doing spells, now I want to show you something too. If you go clockwise, it's what you want to bring into your life. If you go counterclockwise, it's what you want to get rid of. So since this is a spell for passion to ignite, you're thinking passion, lust,
Intensity.
sex, intensity. Satisfaction. Okay, you get the idea. Now I want to show you something that comes from, we're just going to lower this a whole lot. We're going to lower this. Damn, that cooks up fast. Okay, this comes from the Hindu religion. It's called a mudras. Mudras are different hand gestures, okay? Now this is called the Italians have a word for what I'm doing here. It's called kitchen witchery. And old Italians, any food that they made, they put their intent into it. You know, you hear the stories. My Italian grandmother was not big on the hugs and the I love you, but boy, when she cooked a feast. That's how she would show love. And as she was cooking, she was thinking about her family and how, their health and their happiness. So, again, substitute the word witchcraft for whatever you like. But now I want to tell you about the mudras. These are hand gestures. There's one hand gesture we're all familiar with, particularly on the Van Wyck. I'm not going to show you that one. Okay, so that is hot enough. As you're stirring this, okay, there's two hand gestures. This is, I'm trying to think what hands I should use it with. It doesn't really matter, okay? See how this is like kind of the okay sign? Or if you're doing shadow puppets, it's the bunny rabbit. Okay, this is called the prawn mudra. So you want to hold it over your head. The prawn mudra imparts excitement and energy. And that's what we want for this spell, okay? So you're just kind of holding it over. you're stirring clockwise, and you're thinking about sex, joy, lust, passion, virility, anything you want to bring about.
Longevity.
Longevity if you want longevity. And guys, do you get that women rarely want, the 5-hour marathon? I don't know. All right, so now here is this is hot, our steaming mug all right, let's come up with a better name than Sex Cocoa. How you doing with that? Maybe St Valentine's. You got nothing, huh?
I got nothing.
Okay, why don't you call us and tell us what you think it could be? Okay, and now listen. You want to add a little, again, not trying to show any labels, a little whipped cream to the finished product. And then after you and your beloved drink it, you might want to use the rest of the can of whipped cream for the night's activities. Now, I don't know who the hell I can get to drink this. Not right now, anyway. Not for me because I have to focus. I don't know if you guys realize, but we tape 4 episodes at a time. And if I have one sip of this, I'm going to jump the cameraman. So,
Oops.
Well, Rachel Ray, she doesn't usually eat all her food after. No, she does, right? Doesn't she taste it?
Yes, she does.
All right. For science and for our fans, here goes.
Please be careful.
If the next episode I'm butt naked, you know why.
Please be careful. It was hot. I just don't want you to burn yourself.
Because then she'd have to talk on the episodes. And
oh, good Lord.
We know that wouldn't work. Woo! That has a kick, let me tell you. Boy, I'm going to save that.
The whipped cream probably cooled it down somewhat.
I just make a sex spell, and all you can say is the whipped cream cooled it down.
Oh, so you wouldn't burn yourself.
Oh, and it smells wonderful.
It smells delicious. You don't even have to hold it over here. I can smell it from there.
So
it smells delish.
That was the Night of Oh, that's a good one. Night of Enchantment.
Oh,
love
I like
spell.
that.
Yeah, pretty good. Maybe I should patent that.
Night of
Enchantment. I want to tell you something that I found out recently. The word honey comes from a Hebrew word that means enchanted. Now, the Jewish folk at my job, who I love, I'm very close to, but they're not too thrilled that there's any connection. Nobody, okay? The Catholics, the Protestants, the Muslims, the Jews, the Hindus, nobody really wants the connection with witchcraft and paganism. But let me tell you, folks, and I know it's not a competition, witchcraft is referred to as the old religion. Maybe not the oldest. Definitely predates Christianity. I don't know about the Jewish thing. But there's a lot of similarities. So be open-minded, All right, so what else can we talk about with the whole Valentine's Day, romance, love? Why don't you show how to... I don't know what I was going to say.
I don't either. Show how to what?
Well, okay, maybe in the next...
Sorry.
Want some hot cocoa?
No.
Maybe in the next episode, I'll show people how to do a healing love bath. So you want to get in the bathtub and then we can... demonstrate?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we are running a little short on time.
We are a family show, remember this.
We are a family show. And yet again, we are now on different channel. We're on Saturday, 10 a.m., Sunday, 4 p.m., both times on channel 34. You know what? Let's just spend the last couple minutes giving all of our information. Also, okay, my cameraman's going to hate this. Talk for a minute.
I know that we're also on Verizon and RCN as well. Unfortunately, I don't have the times. Well, it's the same time, different channel for those cable networks.
Okay, that's good.
So give us a call or email us. Give us a call at the numbers listed below, or email us at angelsferieswitches, all one word, @gmail.com.
And here's another thing. You can pick up the December, January. Oh, well, it's February now. There's another episode, issue. It's Creations Magazine. If you, let me see that. If you live on Long Island, you can get it absolutely everywhere. If you live in Queens, you can get it at libraries and health food stores. It's Creation Magazine, or you can even read it online. And if you go to page 14, oh, like Valentine's Day, February 14,
How apropos.
there is yours truly, The Good Witch. What a shameless self-promotion that was. So come on, get a couple copies. In addition to this outstanding advertisement featuring me, it's chock full of wonderful articles about health and spirituality and beauty and all kinds of great stuff. So until next time, maybe you could pick up a copy of Creations Magazine. This is Michelle saying thank you and have a lovely evening. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.
Be well.